It's simply to say there's a gap here in the regulatory space, which of assets that aren't covered. We are producing regulations for those asset classes that aren't currently covered. Security tokens will fall within MiFID, not MiCA.
And exactly, that's the key thing. It's bringing crypto in line with other traditional asset classes. There was a gap there, Europe recognised it, and they've covered that gap by bringing in MiCA.
So then in terms of the requirements for a project like Valhalla Network, which is a utility token, and it falls under token issuers, utility token, what would Valhalla Network and what will Valhalla Network have to do, and other projects like ours have to do in order to be compliant with MiCA?
Yeah. So the biggest one is white paper rules. So a white paper essentially is like a prospectus. So an investor can come into the project, look at the document, and it will outline what our token will do. It will talk about all the risks, how our token will work in practice. And our white paper goes into a lot of depth as to how it will work. So when potential investors look at a white paper, they should take assurance that what everything is being said and delineated in this white paper, they can trust, because what will happen is the national competent authorities will hold firms liable for anything in the white paper that they can't stand up, they can't back up with how it works in practice. So any investor out there...
By national competent authority, what do you mean?
So that is a national regulator, whether that's FCA, UK, BaFin in Germany. Exactly. And the thing is, even though ESMA in Europe have drafted these guidelines, it will be the national competent authorities who will be the gatekeepers. They'll be the ones who will be prosecuting, bringing penalties.
So ESMA is sort of like the oversight body, the ones providing information to the national competent authorities, and to make sure everyone's in the same boat, to make sure everyone is applying the same regulations.
I was going to caveat that slightly. There will be certain rules where you will be regulated by Europe, but you have to have... I don't know all the deadlines.
It's much more money and much more
even
customers. Big
firms like Binance, I think you've got to have 15 million users. We're not there yet, but in years to come, there could be some big players that are authorised directly by Europe.
Well, I think Binance will be. I imagine
eventually, but from what I've been reading, that they don't fulfil that criteria currently, so there wouldn't be. Okay. So if you've got a big player like Binance aren't currently doing it, that's not to say, like I say, as crypto grows, more investors go in it, more money flows into it. I can see some of the big players becoming like being a BlackRock in the industry and being authorised.
Well, let's hope not entirely like the BlackRock of the industry, but size-wise, they might be BlackRock of the industry. Let's hope not quite the same boat as BlackRock. Okay. So then the national competent authorities, they're the ones who, like you say, they look at the information from ESMA, the information the guidance they've received, and they decide how to actually regulate, how to apply those regulations in their jurisdictions, and then how to stamp their foot, put their fist down and say you're not adhering to regulations, and how to treat businesses which are falling outside the scope of that.
Exactly.
On that note, actually, it'd be interesting. So you've obviously seen MiFID. You've seen how the regulators brought in MiFID, grace period, all that. Now, MiCA, going into the rollout of and the timeline of MiCA, when did it start? When was the first conversation about MiCA? When did it start the consultation review process? How long has it taken to get to where it is now, and what's the next steps?
2017 was when I think that it was first getting bounded about. There was a lot of people in the European Parliament and people, a number of other bodies. It was saying violations has been, there's a gap in the crypto world and we need to make sure that's covered. So it really did grow and grow and grow. It started getting talked about in European Parliament 2021, 22. Okay. It finally got approved at Parliament in June 2023, and then since then implementation phases began, and then it went live for stablecoins end of June, and for all other assets it's going live end of December this year. You touched on there will be a grandfathering period potentially that can be harnessed by different NCAs.
Also grandfathering period.
So essentially that gives that jurisdiction allowances to have up to 18 months to bring in to make sure the rules are being adhered to.